Let's call him the Kusko.
Yeah, Kusko is more.
Yeah, they say Kusko is more funky and all that.
Yeah.
But if I'm in Lafia now like this, if you call Kusko now and 3 people will turn and look at you.
But Kusko like is your name.
Yeah,
No,
it's a tribal name.
Oh, what does it mean?
I really don't know.
Oh,
My
it's
grandfather's
territorial.
name. He was a traditionalist. And funny thing, I think it's only our family that actually has that name.
Oh, it's like a family.
Yeah, it's a family name. It's only our family that
So
has
all
it.
this lineage,
Exactly.
the lineage is just Kusko's lineage.
How did you grow up?
Growing up, I was given birth in Kaduna. Grew up in a bit of 3 years in Kaduna. Then relocated to Jos. Started my primary school education in Jos before the crisis happened, 2001. Then we left Jos to Nasarawa, and I continued my primary school. Then till 2008, I came back to Jos, completed my secondary school. 2011, I went back to Nasarawa for my university degree.
Yeah.
2017, finished. 2018, I was in Bauchi, and I'm still in Bauchi.
Wow.
You like Bauchi, don't know?
Do you
No.
like Bauchi?
So I wouldn't say I don't like Bauchi. Bauchi is a very cool place. And when I came, I think the first 2 weeks in Bauchi, I think I explored the town.
Wow.
That's one thing I always do when I go to a new place.
Okay.
I want to just know where I am, what I'm doing generally there, and know the places I'm supposed to go to. And so growing up in crisis-prone area is what actually made me do that.
Yeah.
So I want to know the do's and don'ts. I want to know the places I'm supposed to enter and the places I'm not supposed to enter. So for the first 2 weeks,
Yeah.
I think I was a loner.
Yeah, okay.
Then gradually I started connecting with people. But Bauchi is one thing I would say is Bauchi is a no man's land. You can actually explore and grow in Bauchi very well. And compared to other places where you need to
have to blend in first.
Yeah, you have to blend in first properly, especially when you go to play maybe in the southwest, south. You must blend in properly with them. But the north is a little bit different. I will not say just Bauchi, but the north is a bit different. It's receptive to everybody.
What's like the most interesting thing? Like the most interesting thing for the first few years for you?
So the most interesting thing for me in the first few years in Bauchi was that youthfulness.
Okay.
Yeah, despite the fact that I saw a divide. I grew up in an environment where there's a mix. The Christian Muslims there's always that mix. There was that religious tolerance and everything. But when I came to Bauchi, I came to understand that there's that divide, but that youthfulness is still there.
Okay. Yeah.
And coming from the fact that when I came, there was always that vibe. Before I even came, I had met a number of people from Bauchi, so the whole talk about Bauchi and also the tourism there and everything. So I liked the place and I wanted to explore and everything. So it was actually fun for me.
There's definitely something you don't like.
So
like
what? So one thing I think I don't like basically in Bauchi is not. It's still tied around the youthfulness in the town.
Okay.
I think for me it's the clique thing.
Okay.
Yeah, there's this clique thing that always push for competition over collaboration. People tend to compete with, especially young people, and you don't find it very well with the older folks, because when you sit down and listen to them, they have always that meeting point. But amongst us, the young people, there's always that divide. I want to compete. I want to do over another person, and you don't even see that line of collaboration at all. Okay. And it's like that in almost every single place. But I feel that's one of the things that picked it out for me. And
from where you're coming from, is it that much different?
So the difference in where I'm coming from is for ours is like there's that class thing.
Okay.
So I'll just say the Abuja factor affected us in Nasarawa State a lot.
Yeah.
So there's that class thing, but in that class thing, you see a high sense of collaboration. There's when you go for youth gatherings and everything, you see a number of groups coming together to just do things together, and afterwards, no wala, let's go and Me, I did this class. You did this class,
That's true
and all that.
But you've stayed enough, like from 2017, 18.
bro.
Yeah, 18. It's from 18.
How did we get here? Like from your observation, like how did we get to this point where there's a significant divide, and there's also a problem where people tend to shy away from collaborating with each other?
Yeah.
Like especially among the youth.
Yeah. So for me, I will say to a large extent, how we got here is resilience.
Okay.
There's that resilient spirit in every Bauchi young person. That's I want to make it, irrespective of anything. Any means possible. I just want to make it. So there's that resilience. There's that learning culture too. We want to see things around us. We want to hear things around us, and we don't care. We don't care about the barriers and challenges. We want to just explore beyond measures. Take for example, practical example, Beehive Music Festival.
Okay.
When I came the first year, I experienced it. I was just at the back. I was not at the forefront, but I just wanted to have a feel of it. But growing, you find out that every year there's always a twist towards it. Every year there's always a growth towards it. Everywhere there's always something that we want to always bring into limelight to showcase. This is Bauchi. This is what we can actually do. This is what young people can actually do in Bauchi, and it's beyond just what people think outside. But there is that growth sense. There's that resilient spirit, and all I would say is consistency. The consistency of young people in Bauchi is crazy.
That's a plus for.
Yeah,
for
it is. It is.
That's a plus for Bauchi.
Some people will be surprised though. They'll be like,
So there's one thing I think we don't do as young people is to count our little beginnings and clap for ourselves.
Yeah.
So we feel we want to get it all big at a go, but it's always not like that. Like
Sure.
years back, nobody was respecting the traffic light. Nobody was respecting traffic wardens.
Yeah.
In Nigeria, not just in Bauchi, in Nigeria.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
these days, when you go to big cities and also inside metropolis or inside the town, and when we have the street light, when you see red, you see people respecting it to stop. Nobody's diverting or cutting corners. Nobody's trying to tell you I'm in a haste. No, people are. So it's actually that little growths that we need to clap for ourselves. And we were not here years ago, but for now, we might not see it, but let's learn to clap for ourselves.
I was explaining one day to someone, and this is coming from a place where people, especially people in Bauchi, people that are originally from Bauchi.
Yeah.
Me, I'm not originally from Bauchi.
Oh, that's cool. Where are you from?
From Kogi State.
Wow.
Yeah, but I was born and brought up here.
Yeah.
So to a very large extent, I represent.
You represent Bauchi.
Yeah.
I get that.
So, but people that are originally from Bauchi, they make these statements, like young people.
Yeah.
And it really gets me mad most of the time. But I've learned to like just tolerate it.
Yeah.
You know what they tell me? They say, first off, they say Bauchi is a dead place.
Yeah,
They say Bauchi is a dead place.
and
then the next thing that follows is, what are you doing in Bauchi? Like, because I get involved in a couple of things. And
Yep.
they be like, you're actually wasting your time.
No.
Like,
It's downing.
yeah.
But there's also one thing.
So sometimes I'd be like, what is really happening? And these are people that are originally from Bauchi.
But they're not taking this sense. Maybe they feel like Bauchi cannot contain like the potential you're giving out, right? So for you to actualize your full potential, you need to go somewhere like maybe enter Abuja, Lagos, all this. That's how
What do you do? What then?
they see.
That could be another reason for what they are saying.
They'll be like,
but haba.
You get so there's always something. I think one thing is exposure. Exposure is a limitation to a lot of people, especially young people. And trust me, there are people who have never left Bauchi, but due to the fact that they are very keen about exposing themselves, they learn a lot of things online, and they see things outside what is happening in Bauchi, and they want to replicate it also in their town. And another thing is that comfort zone mentality. So there was this statement I always made when I came to Bauchi. I said, if I was in Lafia or if I was in Nasarawa State, in my own state, I wouldn't have challenged myself to do better or to do more. But there's also something of, I think from 2022, I started telling myself that it's not true. Because I see my peers that are there and they're doing a lot of things, and I'm supporting. And I'm also being part of a number of things in my own state, despite the fact I'm here. And I was like, I know a lot of difference I would have done if I was there. So it's that comfort zone mentality that is affecting every young person. You'll be like, oh, nothing there here, nothing there. Is a lie. There's a lot of things that is here.
There's one thing BOC has said one time like that. He said comfort zone is not like a geographical location.
A lie. So it's what you define for yourself.
Yeah.
It can be your mind. It can be the mindset of saying that I just want to, I'm okay with what I have. I'm okay with what I want.
There are people in Bauchi and they're working for companies in America.
Very, very, very well.
So,
and even in Lagos, you go, there's people there that feel saying that they want to go out of Nigeria.
Yeah.
A lot of people from the West are actually people who japa a lot.
Yeah.
But us from the North, we're feeling as if the West is the main thing. Is where opportunities thrive, is where opportunities are there, and we want to go there and explore. But how about you bring down the opportunities here? And looking at the fact that, let me even use the words of the crooner now, Udumudu Black. He said if he goes to Lagos and he wants to be on a show, he will be like number 10 or probably number 20. Because they'll start thinking of Davido, they'll start thinking of Whiskey, they'll start thinking of them, Burna Boy and all that. But if you come to Abuja and you're looking for artists to perform in the headliners to bring in crowd for you.
1,
2. Like you call Magneto, you must call Odumudu at the number 3rd one.
Yeah.
So it's not a comfort zone anything. It's a mindset. Just like how BOC said, it's a mindset thing. Your comfort zone is in your mind. If you feel that, trust me, you can be in US and it's still your comfort zone, and you not challenge yourself to do nothing.
And then there's this boring thing. They say Bauchi is boring. I told somebody one day, I said you could be in Vegas and be bored.
Yes, you can be in Mumbai. You can be in the most beautiful islands in the world and you still be bored.
Yeah.
I think fun is what you create for yourself.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Like fun is what you create for yourself. It's not by virtue of what is around you, places to go. No.
Actually, I feel like
that could help.
Yeah, it could help, but create
fun.
it.
Like you create fun for them, they come and enjoy the fun. So it's different from the way Mr. Moses is saying that you create fun for them. We're here waiting for London. Freestyle Friday. What's up?
Yo.
The fun be like so it's not the conception about us having fun.
Actually, but that's not all fun.
No,
now.
That's not all fun.
It's deeper than that.
Actually,
there's some conversations that you could generally just have together with people, and you feel fulfilled for the day.
Yeah.
And you feel, I've learned something and I've done something for myself today.
And you can actually, there was one time we have like a book club, so we just pick a book.
Review.
Then we just read it for a week. Then we come and talk about the book.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So then I just get to understand that, like, you could actually travel the world, like reading books.
Very well.
Like you can be inside.
And that's one thing we're introducing in our office in Nasarawa State.
Okay.
So we have an office in Nasarawa. We have a Dex office in Plateau. Our head office here in Bauchi. But one of the first things we said we were going to be doing is to
already dive into. We're coming to that, but let's just go.
Yeah. So it's one thing that we said. Well, when we're setting up the office in Lafia, we bought books. Like I think my executive director bought books worth I think almost 200,000+.
Wow.
Just to stock in the shelf. Then we said get 2-3 people who can pick these books There are leadership books, there are wealth books, there are financial management books, and a lot of other things. You have even novels, you have story about nations and everything, so that you learn what people are doing outside and how you can probably be able to marry it inside what you're doing. So it's that thing to expose yourself. I know my mom was a teacher. It was mandatory for you to finish a book. Like, it was mandatory for you to finish a book during holidays. Dolini, you must just finish that book.
Yeah.
At the end of the break, she will say, oh yeah, write something about what you have read.
Yeah.
So gradually, it helps with a lot of things. It helps with exposure. It helps you to with imagination and innovation and creativity. It also helps you to with your speech.
Yeah.
It also helps you with your reading. It helps you with your pronunciation of words and everything. So reading is a culture that every young person probably needs to imbibe.
Also writing.
Like, it's not even
writing too.
Yeah.
I just feel like reading is like a compulsory something. It's not even like you choose to read or not.
No.
Like, that's be like compulsory. Even like 15 minutes a day.
Just
read something.
Just read something.
There's one woman, she was explaining how she used to engage her children. So if they ask her for anything, she tells them to write an essay.
Explaining it.
Yes.
Explain why.
Explain yourself. Like, tell me
why you need this particular thing.
Yeah. If you can explain it,
I'll provide it for you.
If you write a good essay, you get it.
You get it.
So that helps. Like,
that helps in writing too a lot.
To, like, perfect their writing, and before you know,
you're already there. And
unconsciously, so before you just start writing
it for yourself, writing creative things, and you find that a lot of people have this presence online, and people want to read what they're writing.
Yeah.
And it's because of constant consistency in whatever it is that you're doing. And just like how you said now, how many of us can probably write constructively on specific things that are happening?
Yeah.
How can you pick up a particular topic and make it very beautiful so for someone to be able to read? And for you to be able to capture people with what you are saying or what you are probably writing, it boils back to your first paragraph.
True.
If you are able to capture somebody's mindset
from
the first paragraph, trust me, that person will read your book, whether the remaining part of the book is boring.
It's like rap.
Yeah.
Like
the intro and
there's what they say, a great opening line.
Oh.
You get?
Yeah.
So that great opening line can sustain someone, like a listener, like throughout the song even. So it might not be true, but it's a great line.
It's a great line
to start with.
and trust me, that's one thing that immediately anybody who is trying to lip sync your song or probably trying to mime your song, when it comes to that particular line,
like
the vibe is different.
The vibe is different. He will mention it and he will shout about it. So I feel for every single young person, we must definitely learn to cultivate the habit of reading. We must learn to cultivate the habit of apart from even reading, writing. Writing is one thing that we are. What we know today is what people have written before.
Yeah.
So the big question will be, our younger ones, what are they going to hear about us? They're going to start reading. We went to so place, we chilled, and that's all. Yeah, you get. But what are you writing about your community? What are you writing about Bauchi itself? What are you writing about Yalwa community? What's the storyline behind Yalwa? How did you grow up? I like the first question you asked me, how did I grow up? And it's for me, it's going, if I'm going to go in depth now on how I grew up, I'll start telling you about the various single things I experienced, the little domestic accidents and also accidents I also experienced that shaped my whole life and also brought me to where I am now today.
Yeah.
And it all, when someone listens to it in years to come, the big question will be, okay, something like this happened in so place and this how it is now. And for each and every person there must be a story you are willing to tell. it's not enough for people to just come to your town and learn about it themselves. What are you telling about your town? And just like what you mentioned, you said there's something that young people in Bauchi always say, there's nothing in Bauchi.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of people who are coming into your town and they are doing a lot of things.
So
how comes you are not seeing it?
Yeah.
Like, how comes you are not seeing it? Why is it an outsider who comes into your town and tells you there is potential in your town? I know there was a particular evening we were sitting down to get our bills here. We discussed at length, and I told him about how we as young people can explore the CSR of multilateral companies that are coming into town. There's always that corporate social responsibility beyond the host community, the state itself. How well are we presenting ourselves? Are we registered? Are we corporate wise? Are we doing one thing or the other? All these endorsement deals that we see these celebrities bagging and everything, trust me, all of them have gone corporate. It's not just the name.
Sure.
A lot of them have companies registered on their name. Somebody can even register his name as a brand.
True.
And immediately he registers his name as a brand. Immediately you mention it. See what Sabinos did.
Yeah.
He sued, was it Maltina or so? He sued them some...
Peak. Was it Peak?
Yeah, Peak. He sued them a lot, like a huge amount of money. Why? Because he had already trademarked that particular statement that he used.
Yeah.
And talk more of his fees and other things. So how much are we learning from all these things that are outside, and how much are we replicating it here?
So, but we need education.
Yeah, it's true. It's very, very true.
Because a lot of people out there that are involved in this form of things, they don't know enough.
Yeah.
Sometimes people just say things and I know it's not right, but I just breathe and I say, Kai, these people, they don't know enough. You don't know how these things work. Maybe we are doing something and you don't understand like how this thing is put together, and then you have your opinion. You want to say something.
You want to just say something.
Like, this person doesn't understand. So, but how do we get these people to understand these things? You have been involved.
Yeah.
You have done a lot of projects. Like, you have been involved with youth.
Yeah.
And a lot of youth development you guys have done.
Yeah.
What would you say is the best way to get these people rally around and do these things the right way?
So I think first and foremost is we need a change of mindset.
Okay.
Any convincing?
Yeah. We need a change of mindset. Then the convincing comes into play. You must be able to accept honest criticism when they come. I'm someone who, personally, you can criticize me and I'll say thank you very much. And trust me, the next moment I'll want to call you so that we could work together, probably so that I can see how I'll be able to learn something from you. But a lot of young people, especially around here, you don't deal well with criticism. When you tend to criticize them constructively, they feel as if you're attacking them. Yeah. So when they feel attacked, the next thing is they draw back. When they draw back, nobody wants to know. I'll be comforted with what I know. I don't want to know more. But when you accept criticism to a large extent, the next thing is, how can I do better? And how can I do better pushes us to learning now, the awareness now. Okay, I'm a creative in Bauchi State, and I'm trying to do one thing or the other. I'm trying to explore one idea or the other. How best can I do it? We have a lot of people who are, for instance, photographers.
Yeah.
We have a lot of people who are photographers and they're not registered.
True.
I just have a very beautiful name, a very catchy branding name. That if I snap you and I put the brand name, they'll be like, who is this? Who made this? And the next thing they want to say, can I see your profile? Can I see do you have a website? Do you have a social media page? Can I go through it? Can I see your work? And the next thing you say is, most of my work on my laptop. How do you want to give me your laptop now? You get? Do you want to give me your laptop to go home with it?
And actually,
So
that's true.
yeah, so a lot of things come into play for every young person. So you must be able to have a change of mindset. Then when you have that change of mindset, be open to learning.
You'll be open.
Yeah, and when you have that openness, you see need why you need to take some certain steps before you do some certain things. And when you meet creatives who are managed by maybe a company or an organization or a label, as the case may be, or as young people who are into one business or the other, you find out that they will tend to halt you for some certain things that you want to do immediately. They will tell you, can you wait? Can we make certain inquiries so that we get it better? So for every young person, I want to say is be open to learning, have a change of mindset. Not every criticism is an attack.
True.
Not everything
is hate.
Yeah, not everything is hate. True. Not everything is hate. So every single time that you see somebody telling you, I think there is something that is not right here, almost sit down and ask yourself, there's really something that I'm not doing properly. Right. So, and how can I do better? And how can I do better pushes you to start asking people around, what are the best approaches for me? And for instance, example, I came into Bauchi 2018. I started going to local governments to train young people on politics and governance. And the first question I ask is, how many of us belong to political parties? We want to change. We want to say, we want to be the next governor, the next chairman, the next councillor. But we do not even belong to a particular body. We don't have a platform. We just have popularity. Popularity is not platform.
Popularity and energy.
Yeah, we have popularity, we have energy, but popularity is not a platform. For you to thrive in Nigeria, you must have a platform, either individually or probably a company or probably an established platform. So we started from there, 2018. At 2019, we had a number of young people who had already gone to pick cards of political parties. And 2019, we got a young person who contested for the State House of Assembly in Das local government.
Wow.
He didn't win, but he didn't stop. We continued linking up together with trainings for legislative trainings for young people. Oh yeah, we saw this training. Can you apply? Then we recommend you. When he applied, he got recommended. He got like up to 3 trainings before 2023, and he contested for election 2023. By the grace of God, he won. Of recent, he was the deputy speaker of the Plateau and the Bauchi State House of Assembly.
Wow.
Before the present one came in. He did not even imagine or probably thought of himself like that. He never saw himself, but anytime we meet, he always say he's very grateful that he was able to pick up that bold step. He has that popularity already. He has the name. He has that influence. The platform was what was lacking, and it was not as if he did not know that it was there. He just needed that push.
Yeah.
So for every single young person, don't rely on just your popularity and energy, just like how you said, but always think about what's the platform that I'm actually presenting for myself. It's beyond just calling myself Lemon Knight. What's that platform that I have that when there is a gig and I'm being presented with it, I will say, okay, it's no longer Lemon Knight you are dealing with. It's Lendo Podcast.
Yeah.
So let's deal with it as a company now. I'm no longer coming as an individual that you know me. This is business. You talk about a gig, and I know gig brings in exposure and also resources.
Yeah.
We're going to be dealing with resources. I'm going to be handling resources for you. I need to be accountable for it. And that's all about it. For every single time you see a platform established, accountability is there, transparency is there, and for you to be able to brand and make sure that you are giving something of high quality and also something of excellence. And that's all.
Wow.
So platform is key in everything.
Yeah.
You have the popularity that you have. And that's why creatives always I'm liking the fact that we are now having independent creatives, independent artists, independent creatives that are just doing things for themselves. But trust me, even as they're doing things for themselves, they have a platform for themselves. It's not just the name.
Yeah.
They have a registered company that when they are being asked, come and do this, he has something to present. He say, okay, I have so and so friends who are my managers. This is my stylist. This is my this, and he has a team.
Yeah, I have a friend.
Yeah.
I have a friend. So there was one time we were about to like register a company.
Yeah.
So it's like a form of partnership. So I was seeking advice from my friend who is like an expert.
Yeah.
So she was telling me I should partner with my company.
Rather than partner individually.
Yeah. So since I have a company, my company should partner instead of
You.
like me. She didn't have time to explain to me very well, but when I went back, I was like, okay, it's exactly this thing you are saying.
So they will not be dealing with you directly as an individual.
Yeah.
When they say, okay, who's the representative from Lendo podcast? You be like, I'm the person. Or if you're not available, you say, oh yeah, please, can you represent me in this meeting? Do not take any decision without my go ahead.
Yeah.
And when
it makes more sense now. Because at that time I was like, okay. And then when I relate to the person we're supposed to partner with, I was like, I would like to partner with my company instead of myself. He was like, oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
So we had to even like pause.
Because now he now understands I'm dealing with a corporate individual. I need to be careful.
Yeah.
Because for every single partnership there is a contract. For every single contract, that's where that's where you're being twatted. And trust me, contracts can be very bulky.
Exactly. So that would take me to another place now. I know it's quite like
just
yeah, no problem.
but like a lot of young people, especially here in Bauchi, we hear problems of some people getting into like businesses or some kind of dealings with people, and then there wasn't a form of contract, there was no any form of agreement, and then after some time, maybe maybe they have problems. Normal.
Yeah.
People have problems, or maybe the thing got to a point where it's beginning to grow.
Yeah.
And then there's problem of
sharing of resources.
And then from the inception, there was nothing like that. You get, and then it becomes problem for them. So basically, when you're registering a business, the first thing is who is on the business. And trust me, registering businesses or registering platforms don't cost really much on CAC. Yeah,
I think it's 20,000 or so. It's when you want to register a trustee organization or a trustee company. That's when you get to pay up to 60, 100 plus.
Still, it's not much.
It's still not much. But immediately you go into that registration, the basic thing they will ask you are your bylaws. Who are the custodians of that particular company? Immediately you have a custodian of that particular company. Now you're a registered company. That is one. That is just platform. When you get gigs, do not accept, even they say, I'll pay you ₦1 million. Do this thing. And we'll give you an upfront of maybe 60% of the money before, when you complete the work, we give you. So the best thing is, can we have it in written? As little as short of a document is a contract. As little as a paper where me and you will sign and say, okay,
form of agreement.
Yes, I agree that so and so money. Then internally, you come to start understanding you as the people who open the business, or you are as the person who opens the business. If it's only you who owns the business, you have the monopoly of deciding how your resources are allocated, how that ₦1 million is going to go, how much is going to personnel, how much is going to the running of your office, how much is going to maybe savings, how much is going to paying your personnel who worked for you on that particular gig, then how much are you going to be keeping to maybe say, this is my own pay for my intellectual knowledge.
Yeah.
Because it's all about intellect. Not everybody knows what you know. That's why they came to you, to have that gig with you. So that contract is where they mostly when people don't sign contracts, the next thing is, I'll take you to court. I'll sue you.
But there's no background for kids.
Yeah, I'll sue you. We agreed that you're going to pay me ₦1 million. And when you go to court, the first thing they'll ask you, do you have it in written?
No.
One, ba? If you don't have it in written, do you have witnesses? It still boils back to that particular contract, because on the contract you must have a witness signing it. You who is the who is the person who is signing, then your witness, the person who is giving the contract, and witness. In our office presently, if we're going to give you contract to bring in food for us to the office, maybe we have a training or probably a meeting, we will give you a contract and we'll tell you that we'll pay you 70% of the money. And before you bring in the food, we'll tell you, kindly just append your signature, scan it and send it back. It doesn't take long. In fact, send it through WhatsApp. We don't mind. We'll print it out. And when we print it out, we'll keep it. Attach it to that particular gig. That gig of you bringing food for us. That's the contract. So when we attach it, at the end of the day, we're satisfied with the food you bring, and we'll pay you 30%. And that's all. So contract is very important. Apart from having a platform, for every single business that is coming your way, learn to sign a contract. When you sign that contract, it gives you that leverage. So when there is a bigger amount of money, so you are ripping me off. I think we need to negotiate these particular terms, or probably you have little idea of what you're doing. It's important. Can you say, okay, please, can you give me this contract to just go over it tomorrow? I'll bring the signed copy. You take it to a professional. It's very important that you have a legal person, as either a friend or probably on your team, to go through contracts for you. And when you read it, especially contract that has to do with intellect, that's for creatives. There are people who, for instance, photographers. Your picture can be used. I was online yesterday, and Linda Ikeji posted a video of a white guy who went to go and greet the Olu of Warri.
I saw that.
And instead of him greeting, he wanted to walk up. He wanted to go and shake him. Then they brought him back, and she posted the video with the voiceover of the person. The person who owns that video came to say, "This is my intellectual property. I did not give permission for it." Why? It is because it is on her page that she posted it. And someone picked it up and shared it with Linda. And Linda decided not to give credit. That's somebody's intellectual property. And trust me, how much money will Linda make for that video alone? From views on Instagram, from views on Facebook, from views on YouTube, from views.
True.
So the money is much. Give me credit so that people know that someone like me also exists. So the money does not just revolve around you. I will also, as you are giving me credit by tagging me on the post, tag me, and you tag Moses Kusko, people come to my page. I generate traffic. I start getting also funds for a post who you did. I'm riding on your social media presence, and by so doing, I'm also getting resources from myself. By virtue of the fact that you are using my intellectual property. So intellectual properties are also very important. So as much as you are doing your contracts, you have a platform for yourself. Learn to always protect your intellectual. You don't know how far some videos can go.
We need a lot of sensitization.
Yeah.
That's what I want to come to self, because from you starting, in your company, the way you sensitize people, go and teach them a lot of things about this stuff. Like, what's the most significant challenge you people have now? Like, because there will be something that, okay, this way is supposed to go, but it's not going this way.
Yeah.
So, like, how do we get this thing?
So for us, I would say working together with young people is not really an easy task. Lendo, you agree?
I just say,
like, trust me. I see how much of a coordination you do always when you have the Friday event here.
Yeah.
So working together with young people is not always easy. True. You need to convince them to be able to agree to do some certain things. Yeah. And that's basically, I feel that's basically the challenge. Trying to make, I can go to a local government and I'll sit down in presence of 20, 50 young people, and I'm speaking Hausa, which is not my primary language, and I'm mixing it with English. I'm trying my possible best to appeal to their hearts, make them to start thinking, then get them to start doing the work. And that's how messaging actually is. You must be able to appeal to somebody's heart. When I appeal to your heart,
Before the brain will pick.
then the brain will pick. Immediately the brain picks. The next thing is, what can I do with my hands?
Yeah.
I'm no longer carrying your hand to go and do it. No, I can't go and force somebody to go and register under a political party. It must be your choice. That's one.
Yeah.
I can't force you to go and register a company. It must be your choice.
Yeah.
I can possibly probably link you up together with people who can help you do that, but it has to be your choice. So the biggest challenge for us is actually, one, getting young people to actually do it. Two is also getting government now to actually respond to the cries of young people. Let me dive a little bit on Bauchi State.
Okay.
Bauchi State budget for young people, for Ministry of Youth and Sport, which is basically the ministry that covers youth and sport, has always been at the range of, let me put it from Kaura's regime now, Bala Abdul Qadir Mohammed, from his regime, from his administration, from 2019 till now, has always dwindled around 2-point-something billion, 3-point-something billion, 4 points. It has never reached this thing. It has never passed 3 billion.
Okay.
A chunk of that money, 80% of it goes to Wiki Tourist.
Wow.
Football.
Really?
Yeah, a chunk of it. It's actually on Bauchi State website. You can actually go and check it. From 2019 till now. Check budget performance reports Q4. That is the fourth quarter of the year.
Yeah.
That's you'll be able to see the releases, how much was released for each of the MDEs in the state. So you see the amount of money. The youth has that particular allocation, but releases are always dwindling around 1 point. Trust, allocation is different from releases. Allocation is Munche Zamu spending. We said we are going to spend this amount of money.
But they haven't.
Then releases is, this is the money we have spent so far, so good for this year. And the money is always around 1-point-something billion, 2-point-something billion. As at last year, it was around 2.7. And it was
and Wiki is relegated.
That's what I tried to say.
They will never pay. They will never stop paying them their salary.
That amount of money.
Yeah, they will never stop paying them their salary.
But you know, the players are always complaining too.
Yeah, they're not being paid.
So now that's also going to lead us to the question of how many young people are actually raising eyebrows towards these things. And apart from the fact that a chunk of that money is channeled towards sports, how about the creative industry? How about the tourism aspect?
Even the sports. It's not just football.
Low.
It's not just football.
Yeah, but trust me, on the budget line for Ministry of Youth and Sport, what you see is Ministry of Allocation to Ministry of Youth under Youth Development. And youth development is barely $1 billion. And youth development is where you find every single empowerment scheme that maybe the Ministry of Youth decides to do, not the state governor, not the SSG office, not the maybe government house, because there are some certain programs or schemes that the government will decide to do for young people.
Yeah,
that's not captured under that particular budget. It's only captured for Ministry of Youth and Sport. The next budget line that you see is Wiki Tourist. Then the next one is Sports Council. How about the Youth Parliament in the state? How about the Youth Council in the state? How about young people who are creatives in the state? How about the cultural groups in the state? How about young people who want to venture into tech? How about young people who want to venture in arts? How about young people who want to venture in skill acquisition? How about young people who want to venture in climate change and other things? So we don't give priority for young people.
No research, anything.
So there's a lot of things that we need to actually question and probably ask ourselves, how much is the government willing to spend on young people? And then the challenge also boils back to the fact that how many of the young people are willing and ready to actually challenge the status quo. So by you saying that you want responsive governance, you want things to actually work for you, we are not monopoly of resources. As young people, we just graduated university. Some of us has done our masters. Some of us are just diploma holders and also NCA holders. But we are trying our possible best to make ends meet. And we are coming to come and meet you in your community to tell you, venture into politics, go into creative industry, go into this, go into that. With which money?
That's the
Yeah, that's the
capitalist.
question. So that's the challenge. That's the challenge that we always have, making these young people see that you can actually do this thing step by step. You might not get it at a go, but step by
With
step.
time,
So
honestly.
challenge is getting the young people to drink the water when they get to the river, rather than forcing them to drink the water.
But now, this question,
Yeah.
maybe we should have started with it, but
You know, we just started flowing.
yeah.
Yeah, it is very fine.
Now, Young Leaders Network.
Yeah.
Like for somebody that's never heard of you guys, if you are to explain what you guys do,
Yeah.
how would you put it?
So, I'll say Young Leaders Network is a hub of young, vibrant individuals. We're a youth-led, youth-focused organization residing in Bauchi, but working around the northern part of the country and also affecting the country entirely. And our focus is basically on youth development, women development, education, climate change, youth empowerment. And in terms of youth empowerment, it covers a lot of things. Then we also have the mental aspect of young people, because we feel it is not enough to actually touch the mind. You must also be able to touch that mental sense of every young person. And that's why we have some certain programs outlined for us to be able to do. And one of our core is leadership, because one thing we have actually understood as young leaders is to see that we raise other young people who have better understanding of leadership. And leadership is not always about governance. You are a leader in your platform. You are a leader in your company. So we want to see how young people thrive in leadership in every single aspect of life. And that's what we crave for. We want to see that we envision a vibrant society where young people can actually thrive in whatever things that they do and push for sustainability and growth around Nigeria, around Africa, and the world at large. So for Young Leaders Network, if I will say what we do, I'll say we are just youths. In short, I'll just say we are young people, we are youth focused, we are youth driven, we are youth passionate in every single thing that we do.
Youth in action.
Yeah, we are youth in action too.
How
do youth find you?
Yeah, that's the next question.
So for us,
and how do they get you guys involved?
So for us, we have a youth space, and it took us time for us to be able to get there. We have presently a youth space. It's at Ambassador's Crescent at New GRA, and the youth space is open for all. And we have, apart from just the office spaces where you meet the staffs and personnel who are basically young people, you barely even meet somebody that is old in my office. Like you will not meet somebody that is above 35.
Oh,
that is probably a core staff in the organization. No, everybody is below that age range, and that's what I feel speaks for us. And our space is open for young people to be able to come and explore. It's a youth-friendly space. We have sporting equipment, we have sporting activities, we have a free internet connection for young people who maybe are finding it difficult to get internet connection and they're trying to probably get to work or probably learn some things online. You could come into the office when it's a bit free, and we have free spaces around where you can explore. We have a rooftop where you could sit down. There are switches around where you can plug in your laptop or your phone to work, and also, so we want to encourage young people to have a good working culture and also learn from what we do. And for every single month, we have what we call the Ignite Spots.
Okay.
Yeah. So the Ignite Spot is where we even try to tell people about our space.
Okay.
So it's a monthly thing. Every first Friday of the month, we, except when we have maybe emergencies, then we'll probably shift it a week further. But every first Friday of the month, we have the Ignite Spot, and the Ignite Spot is meant to touch the mind, the physical nature of the of every young person, and also the mental sense of the young person. And we started it as just sports, but we have a dream for it to actually grow towards something bigger than just sports. We want it to be we want to turn it into a program where young people can come in apart from the sports, how can we help you? How can we be of service to you? How can we affect your life? How can we encourage you? And we also build networking through there, because we don't limit who comes in. We want every single young person, come and learn. Come and see what other people are doing. And by virtue of the fact that you are there, you meet someone who works in the bank, you meet someone who works in the ministry. So you get to learn, okay, this is happening here, this is happening there, this. You even get invites for programs outside even our office. And that's what our dream is, to bring young people together, especially in Bauchi and also around the northern part of the country, to flourish in whatever it is that they're doing.
Wow. Oh, that's amazing. You know, I don't know whether Lendo knew of your office and how, or we just said no, but this is the first time.
Yeah, you're hearing it.
I'm realizing how
I've been there a couple of times.
Lendo has been there a couple of times.
Very beautiful space.
And Lendo has actually also used the space for certain programs too. So I believe that as time goes on, the space...
I'm thinking of
different things you could do, yeah? So the space is open for young people, especially when you want to have maybe a program. We tend to rent out the space for young people at very subsidized rates, so that it doesn't affect. But when you come in, maybe it's a different organization, we give you the flat rate. Right. But when it's a young person or probably a youth platform, we tend to subsidize the rate at a barest minimum, and we allow you use the facilities that are there. Wow. For you to be able to make sure that your program goes seamlessly. And we always have lights. So we explored both NEPA, the power holding company of Nigeria. We also have solar, and also we have a generator power set for the space.
That's beautiful.
Yeah,
I'll send you a proposal.
No problem. and trust me, we're open to collaboration. We want to see how we'll be able to collaborate with a number of young people or youth platforms generally. I want to refrain from saying young people. I will say I want to collaborate with youth platforms in the States. Right. It gives you more edge when you come even before elders and you tell them that you're not coming as an individual, you're coming as a platform, and you don't come alone. You come in as a group, and it gives them, okay, this is our head, or this is the team lead, this person that is in charge of our creatives, this person in charge of our branding, this, like that. So it gives you that edge, and when you present yourself and say, we want to do a program, and this is the aim, how can we work together? How can we marry the work together? And from you even projecting an idea, just like how you say, you bring in a proposal. When you bring in a proposal, when you discuss, the first thing we'll probably start doing is, how does it fit into what we are doing also as an organization? Then we find somewhere and say, okay, can we merge it together with this? Can we put in just one session inside your program? That's how collaboration actually works. So it's a win-win for both sides.
Important information being disseminated.
I'm glad. So for people that would love to collaborate and partner. And maybe just even use, the place is actually very beautiful. I've been there. So
I have to visit there.
I think probably by next week we'll be having our spots. Either next week, tomorrow is Friday already, so I think next week, because we had series of activities, so we kept on shifting because it was choked up for us, so we kept on shifting, and we want to make sure that everybody is on ground.
I'll try not to miss this one.
So you come, you interact together with people. We have board games, we have card games, and we are planning to buy more, because we feel it's good. It's good everybody learn chess. It's good everybody learn Scrabbles. But we now have Nigerian card games that are actually coming up. And it's also very nice if we as Nigerians start learning about games that we could actually play and enjoy ourselves. As simple as, that concentration game. Do you know that there is a card game for concentration?
Just hearing it for the first
so in Lafia, I also belong to a particular group, and they also do monthly hangouts. And the monthly hangouts is all about card games. There's no specific thing about you. You not see chess there, but you see a lot of Nigerian card games being played there. And you find out that as you are interacting and networking together with a host of plenty young people from various spheres of life, you're also learning something.
Sure. Wow. This is a much needed conversation. But we have to go.
Yeah.
So final word, Val?
Final word is, I think this is one of the most important podcasts we have. Like, podcast like touching the youth directly.
Yeah.
And we're really happy that Mr. Moses is here. Mr. Moses is very sound because
it's a blessing.
It's a blessing.
It's a blessing.
Thank you very much.
He has accolades. He has.
Yeah.
So from the way he's estimated, from the way he speaks, you know that like you are not wrong, or you won't be wrong if you attach yourself, or if you find time and get to know
what we do generally. Yeah.
And attach yourself, because I think the most important thing for people to have is mentors.
Yeah.
Have someone to look up to, because if you want to go alone, like it's kind of
it limits you.
It limits you. So I think they will serve as that. Because even more like I'm motivated like to start approaching. Maybe I'll just start going there for my tech and other things and stuff.
And I think before that, maybe one boost I'll just tell you is register a platform for yourself. Like register when you do that, when you register, you just carry the CAC certificate, just go and hide it. Keep it somewhere. Don't worry, moving. Just continue doing your work.
Yeah.
One day they'll ask you, do you have a registered company? You say yes, I have. Can we see your CAC? You just go and scan it and send it to them. True. Do you have a bank account? I'm having a little bit issues with my bank account, but can you give me probably from now till next week? I'll be able to set up in 1 week. Trust me, you can set up a bank account for your company and gigs start coming in.
I think before we go, like you have to drop your handles.
I'll definitely do that.
We'll have it.
The Twitter, everything, so everybody can access it directly.
So, Mr. Kusko, thank you for coming.
Thank you very much for having me.
You are a blessing to Bauchi. You are a blessing to our podcast now.
Thank you very much. And also, you guys have actually been doing very, very great work. I've been following the podcast, I think, right from episode 1. When I get home and I'm a bit tired, what I mostly do is I surf the internet. So when I'm lying down, I just enter and I tend to listen. Some I don't listen all, but some I do listen. I listen to from beginning to the end, and it stands out to see that young people are discussing things that concerns them in the state. Things that concerns them. It's not all about the banter and everything, but it's all about there's more to life. So inside the banter, can we start having like conversations that brings up a lot of things, and it goes wild for us. And I believe that with this particular thing will go beyond and out. We can start even having live sessions together with people even outside the country to just be able to share with creatives here. And it's not like rocket science what a lot of people are doing in the West. No, it's not. And we can actually make it here. And I really want to just say maybe like a final word. There's a lot going on in Bauchi, and there's a lot that can be explored. There's a lot of opportunities. So no Bauchi young person should say there's nothing here. I'm strongly against that statement, because I am not from Bauchi, but I love Bauchi State. I love where I am.
Bauchi.
Yeah.
All of us are
from Bauchi, but I love Bauchi State, and Bauchi has made me become who I am right now. And trust me, there's a lot that we can actually achieve together.
That's right.
Collaboration over competition.
Here and here well.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.